communist movement. That's just the cover. The big banks that own the insurance companies want to make everybody buy insurance. Then it lets the government decide what care you get. So it's really a fascist model, even worse than socialism if that's possible. And so, yes, I saw whole stacks of articles the last 3 days getting everybody ready for the Supreme Court to rule. You bet the government's going to make you buy things. Got to buy it from the company store. And government's taking over health care. So you're going to pay for all this, and then you're not going to be eligible for the medical care. So it's like our own writer, Paul Watson's been sick for over a month with a chest cold. He goes to the government doctor, and they go, "We're not giving you antibiotics, Jack." And he's like, "Well, let me go see a private practitioner." They're like, "We decide if you can go see somebody. Only the elite can see that. Even if you have the money, sorry, here's a bag of aspirin. Get well or die." In fact, if you go to INFOWARS.com real quick, we have an incredible graphic up there that's Planned Grandparenthood, the death panels, where you get bonus credit for going ahead and euthanizing grandpa and grandma. There it is. And this is actually what they're saying. They're saying in the bioethics journals, kill grandma, kill up to 3-year-old children that are healthy. This is when you get into a socialized system with fascists on top of it. They get everybody fighting over resources. And Bill Gates says to teachers at a meeting a few years ago, kill grandma and get 10 jobs. And the teachers clapped, "Murder! Kill him! Oh, look at grandpa. Oh, look, Junior's getting the money." Of course, he'll be killed later as well with his soft kill weapon. See, they got to get rid of health care because they're soft killing everybody with the cancer viruses because the government loves you so much. And a lot of members of the elite are going to be dying too. This is like just giving over to psychopathic systems. We're living in a science fiction movie, folks. We're living in a nightmare. Let's shift gears now to the next article. DHS raids home to seize deadly hair straighteners. I have this article right over here. It's at INFOWARS.com. But don't worry, the government's doing all this for our own safety. DHS raids home to seize deadly hair straighteners. That's even more ridiculous than when I've seen them raiding Amish with milk, or DHS involved going after lemonade stands. Federal agency founded to fight terrorism continues war on grooming appliances. Yes, it's going on to keep us safe. But that's okay. 2 weeks ago, the head of the CIA, General Petraeus, said, you know what? All of your new appliances, when you pay for them, have backdoor tech built in with data over power lines and wireless, your washing machine, your iPhone, to track you. And Paul Watson's got an article out today. Everything is spying on you. Forget 1984. The Internet of Things is the ubiquitous surveillance grid, and it's all there. The schools watching your kids over the, quote, free laptops you paid for with tax money. It's all there. It's all happening, and we've been proven right yet again. Now we will break down the secret of Hunger Games, set more than 100 years in the future after America has been collapsed, is an artificial system where the population has been turned into feudal slaves living at a subsistence level. It is the essence of Agenda 21. The suboid slaves are played off against each other in gladiatorial diversions. This is directly out of the Globalist Handbook. There you've got Mr. Sutherland, one of my favorite actors, on a Jumbotron screen in a police state dystopic future at the Hall of Justice. Already at Walmart's, Mall of America, and thousands of locations, giant Jumbotrons are there with Big Sis, a asexual creature, telling us that we all need to give our rights up because terrorists, Al-Qaeda namely, that they publicly fund to attack other nations, is hiding under every desk wanting to get us. Now, continuing here with this film, now that I've had a chance to research it and go over it, this is really a piece of anti-establishment propaganda, because you've got the 10 FEMA regions, the 10 governors, this plan globally to have 10 regions with 10 sub-regions per sector across the world. This is really the UN model. And when you read the biological diversity assessments, they talk about bringing back gladiatorial games. to teach people to fight with each other, not with the state. And having big centralized governments over the 10 global regions with 10 sub-regions per region, and you have a central government per 10 regions that plays the sub-10 regions off against each other via gladiatorial games. So the writer of this fiction book, she's really got a deep understanding. And by the way, we're going to end up contacting her. We're trying now, but seeing the film, I can guarantee you that if she's not an INFOWARS reader and Alex Jones listener, that she is a deep researcher into the New World Order and the system they want to set up. Because the 1996 UN Biological Diversity Assessment, I covered it in my 2002 film, Road to Tyranny, says they would have gladiatorial games, reintroduce human sacrifice, teach the people to fight with each other. This film is basically, from my notes, Robin Hood meets Romeo and Juliet meets 1984. And it is Agenda 21, where the central government over the subregions is artificially cutting off resources and executing, imprisoning and executing people who were caught killing a rabbit, killing a deer so they get food for their family. And the society has been artificially collapsed so that everybody is dependent on the central government that has the resources. You're not allowed to farm or ranch for your own good. This is what the New World Order is about. This is what Agenda 21, Behind the Green Mask, and the book that we sell at INFOWARS.com breaks down. This is what the corporatocracy is calling for. This is what Maurice Strong in 1992 and now this year is calling for, a post-industrial world with these high-tech reservations that are government and corporations, with the rest of us living in squalor outside of that, but unified by television broadcast of the giant gladiatorial games. Now, in part 2 and now part 3 coming out, the books, I haven't gotten to those yet. I'm talking to fans of it, though. I've got friends and family that are. It's more of a message of revolution against this. So Hollywood, in its desperate attempt to stay relevant, is more and more adopting the culture of resistance to these eugenics, post-industrial, deindustrialization cult, and people are really starting to wake up. So that is exciting. And we'll have some more reports and reviews on the Hunger Games. Also saw a film on DVD that I think is pretty impressive called In Time, with Justin Timberlake, of all people, but it is a powerful message of the elite being able to live forever, but needing to reduce population to do it because you can't have too many people. That's also what this is all about. And we're also going to be reviewing here with a sneak peek months before it's out, coming up this Thursday, Prometheus, the Ridley Scott film. So you want to stay with us on that. But you know, I wrote a lot of notes here. I kept hearing about the Hunger Games, too busy to get focused on it. Now I've had a chance to see it. It's got Woody Harrelson in it as one of the trainers of the people that are involved, as one of the winners of the Hunger Games, where you've got, again, children, the youth, being sacrificed by the central government in a gladiatorial event. That's the tropism developed by every other authoritarian system in history, whether it was the Aztecs, the Babylonians, the Greeks had human sacrifice, the Romans, that's what the gladiatorial events were. All of this human sacrifice in every single culture, ritualized warfare, because the elites are basically culling the population. This is an ancient truth, and that's why Hunger Games is so powerful. Any film that is extremely successful has a couple things behind it. A, the system pushes it. But more importantly, B, it has to trigger archetypal truths that we already know are there. And finally, it has to be presented in a powerful fashion. And so I'm not saying Hunger Games is even good in the final equation, because the system has put it out to people. They believe the public's so dumbed down, this will condition people to accept this future, which is what the UN and others are actually pushing. It's incredible. This is something they're actually pushing. A real, a rewilding, going back to primitive times, gladiatorial events, human sacrifice. The UN actually calls for this. Cutting off resources artificially to control populations, because a true renaissance of clean energy, new systems, free energy systems threatens the monopoly. So the elite who are facing that are deciding to go into a new dark age where they have life extension and they have all these new systems, but that's blocked off from us. We're in a new dark age. they ascend to the next level with the Promethean fire. That is their plan. The question is, will you let them do that? You see, they know that you can never be given access to any of this or even know that it exists, or you'll completely rebel and they'll lose their monopoly of power through the technological revolution. Because technology's a multifaceted sword with hundreds of edges. It's not just double-edged, good or evil. It has a fractal design of 6 dimensions of possibilities, and we make the future. That's why they want us walled off in this matrix-like system of American Idol and NFL, totally feeling inadequate via the Madison Avenue brainwashing system, with endless recruiting ads showing women rebelling against their boyfriend by shaving their heads and marrying the state and joining the Marine Corps. We're going to show that tomorrow night. I mean, sick stuff. So you can be injected with binary weapon systems and die young and be chewed up by DU. The system wants to destroy the family, so we all marry the state and join the hive collective that uses us as human resources. Another term hidden in plain view. So again, the system thinks they're throwing it in your face and you're weak, and you'll just accept this as what's coming. I believe that when you see the facts, you will be enlightened and take action against the globalist. You're like, well, how do I bring them down? You don't bring them down by yourself. You resist, you rebel in small ways, and we kill them by 1 trillion cuts. The globalists are doing that to us incrementally. We resist them incrementally as well. Resistance is victory. Let me give you tonight's quote here with this jumbo edition of InfoWars Nightly News. Okay, so tonight's quote is from Bob LaFavre, a Alex Jones of decades ago who's now deceased. Government is a disease masquerading as its own cure. And he's the father of the Freedom School. He founded that, and we stand on people like Bob's shoulders. So we commend you, Bob, for all your work, and we say hi to you. They're watching from Valhalla. All right, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Syrian Girl, and then we're going to give you the big exclusive Smashing Pumpkins founder Billy Corrigan interview that is going to make Al Gore very, very angry. I want to remind viewers, this is teleprompter-free real news. If you believe this is powerful information and you're watching this like millions of viewers out there on YouTube and other video systems, if you want to support us and watch it when it first goes out every evening, and you want to see all my films and 9 years of material and see video live of the daily radio show /TV, become a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber. It's only 15 cents a day. But you can do a 15-day free trial right now and test it out for free. And one membership is really 6 memberships. For every 15 cents a day membership, we allow 6 people to log in with the same username and passcode. Just be sure it's a username and passcode you only use on PrisonPlanet.tv. Don't share it if it's on your bank account and stuff. But you create your own username and passcode, and you share it with up to 5 other people, and you can simultaneously be logged in. So that's 6 memberships for $5.95 a month, or roughly 15 cents a day. And it is your support of the InfoWar that has made all of this possible. We'll be right back with Syrian Girl. Our biggest contest ever. And we're looking for people who love freedom and who want to be all in the resistance to tyrants. So you say you want to fight the New World Order. Why, if you were on the radio, if you were Alex Jones, you'd really kick some globalist ass. Well, here's your chance. We're hiring not 1, but 2 new reporters, whose reports are going to be on the radio, whose reports are going to be on the nightly news, who will even anchor the show. If you're ready, here's your chance to step into my shoes, and I hope you surpass what I've done. 2 winners, $10,000 in prizes, and a shot to be a reporter inside the Infowars.com command. Come on, there it is. And this is actually what they're saying. They're saying in the bioethics journals, kill grandma, kill up to 3-year-old children that are healthy, This is when you get into a socialized system with fascists on top of it. They get everybody fighting over resources. And Bill Gates says to teachers at a meeting a few years ago, kill grandma and get 10 jobs. And the teachers clapped, murder, kill them. It's communist movement. That's just the cover. The big banks that own the insurance companies want to make everybody buy insurance. Then it lets the government decide what care you get. So it's really a fascist model. Even worse than socialism, if that's possible. And so, yes, I saw whole stacks of articles the last 3 days getting everybody ready for the Supreme Court to rule. You bet the government's going to make you buy things. Got to see that. Even if you have the money, sorry, here's a bag of aspirin. Get well or die. In fact, if you go to INFOWARS.com real quick, we have an incredible graphic up there that's Planned Grandparenthood. The death panels, where you get bonus credit for going ahead and euthanizing grandpa and grandma, buy it from the company store. And government's taking over health care. So you're going to pay for all this, and then you're not going to be eligible for the medical care. So it's like our own writer, Paul Watson's been sick for over a month with a chest cold. He goes to the government doctor, and they go, we're not giving you antibiotics, Jack. And he's like, well, let me go see a private practitioner. They're like, we decide if you can go see somebody. Only the elite can. Oh, look at Grandpa. Oh, look, Junior's getting the money. Of course, he'll be killed later as well with his soft kill weapon. See, they got to get rid of health care because they're soft killing everybody with the cancer viruses because the government loves you so much. And a lot of members of the elite are going to be dying too. This is like just giving over to psychopathic systems. We're living in a science fiction movie, folks.